I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It's another edition of the Daily Puck Drop. It is your daily sports podcast here on a Thursday, November 20th. We appreciate you watching and listening on all the platforms. The live show, of course, on X and YouTube, and the Puck Sports mobile app, which you can download to your smartphone, iPhone, Android phone. Just go to their app stores and search Puck Sports Mobile. Of course, later on the podcast, everything up on YouTube. And, of course, your favorite podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, does not matter. And you can find everything up at pucksports.com. Every single day we come via the Limbach Lumber Studios. Contractors are going to take care of you. You do-it-yourselfers, they are also going to take care of you. And they take care of me because without their support, we're not doing this daily. So big thanks to Limbach Lumber. Give them a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them at limbachlumber.com for all of your lumber needs. They're going to take care of you. They've been in business since 1930. Trust them. Everybody trusts them. You should trust them. limbachlumber.com. And again, that phone number, 206-782-3487. Tell them Puck sent you. You can also visit me on all the social media platforms, Puck Sports everywhere, except for TikTok. That is Puck_sports. And please visit our website, pucksports.com. There you can sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. That membership supports everything that we do daily. If you like the Daily Puck Drop, please, I encourage you to become a member. Also, we throw in bonus shows throughout the week. Our Inside Pitch visit with Ryan Divish in the offseason. It's back every single week. Talking Mariners baseball came out yesterday. Plenty of talk there on what will the Mariners do next after signing Josh Naylor. We're going to get to that in just a quick second. And in other news and notes from Divish. Also, you get access to the full KJ-Arent, which comes out today with Mitch Levy. Of course, his podcast, Mitch Unfiltered, which you can find everywhere as well. Now, as a little bonus for you, we air the entire KJ-Arent live during the Daily Puck Drop. But once we go dark, the only way to access it, the full show, both video and audio, is if you become a Puck's Posse member. And again, at pucksports.com. So we got headlines coming up here real quickly. We got Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. It's a Thursday. Mike joins us talking about all things NFL. Mitch Levy will join us for the live KJ-Arent. We'll get to On This Day and Hey, What the Puck. But let's get quickly to headlines here on a Thursday, November 20th. Let's start first with the Seahawks. And, of course, the biggest storyline is their game going in against Tennessee this weekend, in which they are heavy, heavy favorites, by the way. And I would say lay the house on the Seahawks. They're 13.5-point favorites in this one. And I was just was reading up something. They're the best team this year in covering are the Seahawks. The Titans, the worst team in the NFL in covering. So 13.5. Lay the college fund down on the Seahawks against our guy Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. But the biggest news for the Seahawks is obviously the health of Grey Zabel. And according to Mike Macondald yesterday, I guess it feels good. It could have been much worse there with Macondald coming out and talking to the media yesterday about Grey Zabel. So that is great news. My God, that would have been just a disaster had Grey Zabel gone down and been gone for an extended period of time. Now, he might be out a week. We don't know. Didn't practice yesterday. Hopefully, Garafolo will have some more information on that. But again, looks like they avoided a big disaster there with Grey Zabel. And so we'll find out a little bit more on that one. Other headlines. This one's been a confusing one. And because the way that Major League Baseball, and I don't think the Mariners did themselves any favors by coming out and not really releasing anything, is this new MLB TV deal. I know we've got months before the start of the baseball season, but the league announced a new 3-year deal with ESPN, NBC, and Netflix, by the way. Deal's going to be $800 million a year. So ESPN has secured the exclusive rights of MLB TV. So if you're one of these people, if you're out of market, live in LA, and you use MLB TV to watch the Mariners, ESPN now has secured those rights. So nothing on that front is going to change. They have not updated their subscription rates and all of that. But they now control all the streaming rights to all the in-market games and in-market teams, including the Mariners. Because the Mariners are one of, I think it's 5 or 6 teams, along with the Guardians, Padres, Twins, D-backs, and Rockies, that are under that MLB .TV umbrella. Now, ESPN's not going to take over the streaming aspect for next season. But according to Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times, of course, he's on with us every week, the inside pitch with Divish, is that the Mariners, in conjunction with MLB, plan to offer some type of streaming package for the 2026 season. But what is up in the air is what's the plan for 2027. And it appears, at least in 2026, it will appear on your basic cable, in your cable package. But there are no plans beyond 2026. So does it go away from cable when it starts in 2027 and you have to subscribe to ESPN to get it? I think that's where it's going to go. It's going to be all under that ESPN app platform. So it will go away from your basic Comcast cable and you'll have to, or whatever cable you have, or DirecTV, what have you. It's going to go away from that and you're going to have to go through that ESPN app. All right. Enough of boring details about MLB television packages. Let's get you caught up on all things, all the talking points, all the top storylines in the NFL. He joins us every single Thursday from the NFL Network. You can follow him on social media, Mike Garafolo. He's all brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance. It's your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area. They've been doing business since 1978. Honesty, fairness, integrity. Contact Jamie Hartley when he's not playing golf, but he's not playing golf right now because it's November. 253-565-8700. Also, Zogs on Fox Island. Great spot to grab a cold beer, hang out with friends, catch any game you want. Check out their hours and event times on Facebook and just search it, Zogs, on both Facebook and Instagram. All right, he joins us right now, Mike Garafolo, with a new background. I like it. You look good.
I think you've seen this one before, haven't you?
I've never seen this background. Are we still in Are we still in the small apartment?
Well, I'm in the house right now.
Okay.
They're doing work, and you're going to hear it in the background because I already made them stop for Good Morning Football, and I'm going to make them stop for whatever the hell we're doing this afternoon. I don't know.
I think you yell at them, and I think workers like that they like to be yelled at by people.
I need them done. I need the job done.
Yeah, you need them out of your house. You need your house back, Mike.
Well, it's not the first part; it's the second part. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
did I see you this morning on Good Morning Football interviewing the Undertaker?
Well, that was yesterday morning. Yeah, we interviewed the Undertaker.
Okay.
Taker.
What's going on? What is he, a big football fan? Is he going to joining the network? What's the deal with the Undertaker?
The 35th anniversary of his debut at the Survivor Series, which I remember distinctly as a kid.
Okay.
We had preview magazines because they teased his appearance, and it was Survivor Series. You got 4. Did you ever watch wrestling?
Oh yeah, but I'm older than. How old are you? I'm 49.
I'm 45.
Okay, so we're close enough.
Age doesn't matter. I'm because I was going to explain Survivor Series.
I'm a huge huge wrestling fan, but by that time I was out. That Survivor Series. Yeah, I was done. I was done when let's see. When Hogan went to NWA. Hold on. And then he turned and became WCW, whatever.
Yeah, how old were you?
I was out. I don't know. What was that? 30?
35 years ago, which brings you to 14.
I don't remember that. I don't remember Survivor Series.
You don't remember Survivor Series. Every year, Survivor Series. So I'll explain it to you.
Okay. Unless you have breaking news on something that's happening in the NFL. Then we don't do Survivor Series, and you give me an update on Grey Zabel.
No, I got you. No, it's not. I thought it was breaking news. Otherwise, I wouldn't have moved. Survivor Series, you got four-person teams, and you go, and it's like you got to eliminate all 4. Okay, so once all 4 are eliminated, the other team wins. I don't remember what the reward was. Like if you win the Royal Rumble, you get to go fight for the belt at wrestle for the belt at WrestleMania. I don't remember what happens if you win Survivor Series, if it's just the thing that they created just to have in November. But anyway, they had the teams of 4, and the $1 Million Man's team had a question mark over a dark figure. And so it was like, who's this going to be? And he comes out and he nails it, and he's the Undertaker, and he wins 21 WrestleManias in a row, and he's just an absolute legend when it comes to wrestling. I said to Kyle yesterday, I was like, that was awesome. Like, that was awesome. I don't do many interviews where I'm like, that was awesome. And then I went to go see how many mentions there were to see how popular it was on social media. And I saw very few. And I saw one person go, of course, my feed cuts out or something at the Undertaker. I was like, what? And then somebody else was like, why is there a Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick documentary on NFL Network right now? And I was like, and I just walked back from the bathroom during the break, and I saw it up there, and it didn't occur to me that was on our air when our show was just never didn't really matter. Apparently, it wasn't our fault. The transmission from one of the companies that relays it just got lost in the ether, and so this highlight of our show didn't even make air. Now it re-airs twice, thankfully, so it made air twice more that day. But I was like, really, like, that's the segment that you chose to not have tonight. So for those on the West Coast, probably didn't notice anything because it was right in your time slot. But for the East Coasters, it was like, it was what I wanted to watch the Undertaker here. So that was really cool. I asked him, I said, or maybe I didn't get this question in. I was thinking about it in my head, but there's so many wrestling gimmicks that they probably come up with, and people think this is going to make my career. This is going to be awesome. And then it just falls flat at a couple of house shows, or maybe Saturday afternoon wrestling when they used to have that. And I'm wondering if, like, you're going to be the Undertaker. Paul Bearer was not with him at the time. I don't think Paul Bearer came till later. They debut Paul Bearer with him. But I'm wondering if in his head he's like, I don't know, an Undertaker? Like, I don't know. Yeah, but just absolutely nailed it.
I can't remember. Did he try to be somebody before that?
I mean, he was in wrestling. He was in, I believe, WCW, if I'm remembering this correctly. He had a history as a wrestler. And it was Mark. Did he wrestle as Mark? See, now
I don't know. I can't remember, because they always do that. They're like one guy, and then they come. That didn't work out, so they got to come as somebody else. Listen, I love that. I love that whole damn thing. Especially when I discovered TBS, and because where we lived, we didn't have TBS. So you never saw like Flair and any of those guys and the NWA until we had a place up in Canada, which had a satellite dish. And I'm like 10. And then I'm like, what the hell is this TBS? Who's this guy? Because all I ever remember is Hogan.
I couldn't remember.
And then when I got Ric Flair and Magnum TA and all the NWA, the Four Horsemen, all those guys, I'm like, I'm in. I'm just all in on Flair. And NWA became my favorite over the WWF.
See, I was a WWF guy the whole way.
No, I like the dirtiness of NWA. It was grimy. It was explicit.
We'd go over to my neighbors and we'd be watching that because he was a little older, and they had the cable box that allowed folks. I'm not gonna say illegal, but they had the cable box that allowed to watch these. So we'd watch it over his house, and his buddies came over and they liked the WCW, and I was like, this is not my.
Call it its original NWA. That's what it was.
But I think it was WCW at the time.
Yeah, they may have they changed it, later.
Right.
I think they changed.
But anyway, it was. I just looked it up. I knew it wasn't Mark Calloway. It was Mean Mark Callis was his character with the WCW, and then he came over to WWF. So I'd love to interview one of those old wrestling guys. I'd like to get I can't remember. Is Dusty Rhodes still with us, or did he pass? I think he. No, I think he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone a long time ago. You ever see Dusty Rhodes hoop? You ever seen the highlights of him playing basketball? Do yourself a favor, and after this, Google Dusty Rhodes playing. I think it's at the Tennessee Volunteers like charity game. This son of a bitch could ball. Like, it's unbelievable.
Really?
Watching him run up and down
the
handle
court, too?
Everything. He's like the mailman, but better. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Well, I've watched the Netflix documentary series, a couple episodes where they feature Cody Rhodes, and he's talking about his
Yeah.
So it's but his dad's not Dusty's.
Well, I'm going to make this transition. You know who could make a great transition to wrestling would be Grey Zabel. He just kind of looks like a guy that could go from the NFL right into wrestling. He's kind of has that wrestling look. You're going to tell me and our audience right now that he's okay, and you're going to say that he's going to maybe miss one game or maybe not miss a game at all. Are we
maybe not miss a game at all?
Feeling good about Grey Zabel?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to practice today. I'm watching these Dusty Rhodes highlights. This is awesome. Yeah,
I told you, he's a
baller.
baller.
I thought maybe there was going to be like this is when he was slimmer. No, he's as big as he was.
Oh, still fat Dusty.
Yeah,
look at him move.
Underneath, lays it in.
Pulling up jumpers. I mean, he's all right. So Grey Zabel.
Yeah, they dodged the bullet on Grey Zabel.
Yes.
I think there was some consternation early on about his injury and what it was going to wind up being. And everything looks good. He's banged up. He didn't practice yesterday. Might not practice today. Might play, might not play, but it is not going to be an extended absence if he misses a game. Your boy is fine. I don't say fine. I mean, it's his knee and minor injury, minor surgery is things you say about other people's bodies, but not nearly what they thought it might be when it first happened. So there you go. There's your good news for the day.
Yeah. I mean, because that was the thing that came out of that game. You're like, oh my God, they played so well. They had the chance to win at the end, and then that injury. He's been playing great, and you're like, at that point, you would sacrifice, even if they had won. You're like, you'd sacrifice the win just so Grey Zabel would be healthy enough.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe some folks at home were praying to the football gods and saying, we'll give up this game, just make sure our guys' ligaments are intact. And that wound up being the case. So he is good to go eventually, and maybe even this week. No, it's you. I'm like, how'd you do that?
Well, I'm multitasking.
You're slick.
Wanted to make sure that everyone got the news. He said they dodged a bullet.
They dodged the bullet. Did you put that quote out? Because that's the key quote.
Yeah, they dodged a bullet. I got it right. I can
past tense. You got D-O-D.
Did I say dodge?
They dodge a bullet. Yeah. Made it sound like I don't know.
I'll fix it.
My grammar.
No,
you're good. And you love them. I know you love them, and I know that they feel that they've hit a home run with that pick, so they're feeling really good about it.
What was your takeaway from that game? I mean, listen, that had the you can fast forward obviously to the rematch, but even the playoffs, could that be a playoff rematch? Could that be an NFC championship preview? I mean, Seattle, they had their chance at the end there with Jason Myers missing that 61-yard field goal, and there's kind of a couple of ways you look at that game, right, Mike? Is you step back and go, God, look how close they were. They almost won that game despite the 4 interceptions there from Sam Darnold. But then there's the other way to look at it. And I think I texted you during the game was, they were close, but it's another example of Sam Darnold in particular costing his team a victory there.
I mean, that'll be the outside look at it, right?
Yeah.
They outgained them. Wow, I did not realize 414 to 249 total yards they outgained.
Oh, they killed him.
Yeah, because it really felt like watching it. I mean, you're watching Red Zone; they're popping back.
Yeah.
I love Sunday Night Football. You can actually watch a game; it's great. But for me, I got to track everything. So just popping in, you were like, wow, the Rams really controlled this game. How were the Seahawks even that close? And you look at the total yardage just now, and you go, oh, I actually did move the ball, and it's the key interceptions and key spots that killed them. So that'll be the outside noise is, there's Sam Darnold again, choking when it mattered. The inside noise is, hey, he made great decisions. And we talked about it last week. How's he going to react under pressure? Because he's going to be under pressure, unlike he'd been the entire season. And he was. And the first interception that I did see, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Because that was not the way you want it to look. That's not a confident quarterback standing up in the face of pressure. I said the same thing in regard to Shador this week. We were talking Good Morning Football. What do you want to see? I said, I want to see him hang in the pocket, take a shot, deliver a ball to his own guy, or at least, he threw a bad pick in that situation. Like, can't have that again. I want to see, because that was the question with him, kind of, whatever. Sam Darnold's not in that regard, twinkle toes or however you want to put it. But under pressure, can he make the right decision and hang in there? And he didn't do it the other day. I want to see it now moving forward. I'll give you that game. Now, it can't be like, it happened again down the stretch of the season in key games into the postseason. It's got to be like, you can have those moments, but it's got to be moments. It can't be extended stretches of that.
Yeah, because he's just like, you start talking about them and you look at what their defense did against Matt Stafford. That was a Super Bowl caliber performance against that team. I mean, they held them to season lows in everything that day. And I mean, Matt Stafford, when you watch the full game, there are times where I don't think I've ever seen him that confused, didn't know where to go with the football because of what Mike Macdonald's defense was doing. But then there's that but. And I think there's a lot of people here, at least in this town, that don't want to quite admit it yet, but they're just a little like, they're going to kind of watch the next Rams game, like kind of with one hand a little bit over their eye, over their face, just a little bit like peeking through their fingers, because I think there are a lot of nerves about how he will perform in the next big game. But also at the same time, you're rooting for him because you want a guy like this, because he's very likable, to push through this.
Who are you talking about?
Sam Darnold.
Oh, I thought you were talking. Weren't you just talking about defense?
Well, I was all over the place, Mike. This is what I tend to do. I go defense. Now I'm back to Sam Darnold. I'm jumping all over the place. All right. You're texting left and right, so stop it.
Well, I'm going to tweet that Lamar Jackson's back on the field.
Okay.
I don't think Lamar Jackson's going to be the kind of guy that's going to take off a bunch of practices the rest of the year and just relax and chill out. So he's back on the field today.
All right. I was going to ask you about that.
Well, there you go. I think it's going to be maintenance for Lamar Jackson. Could wind up being a pattern for the Ravens.
I enjoy you talking out the tweet that you're sending.
Well, I'm trying to make it seem like I'm not just sitting here typing like my kids when they're on their tablets at dinner, and I'm like, hello.
Take them away. What are we doing? They don't get the tablets at dinner. Dinner is the Garafolo parents' time and family time. So, but
I want to be able to talk to my wife. So sometimes it's like, here, shut up.
Fair point.
All right, fair point.
But for Darnold, he's just going to be that. I think there's a lot of nervousness of, can he perform in the big games? Now, maybe people will say, hey, you're overreacting. It's just the Rams. Maybe the Rams have his number. Well, I mean, they've got to get through the Rams. So that's a problem.
I mean, it's not just the Rams. If you go back to last year, though, there were a couple of games down the stretch where he didn't play well. The Detroit game as well. That's to me, it's like, it's not the opponent, it's the situation. That's what I'd be more worried about. So, I mean, it's almost like you got to look at him like, and it's hard. I feel bad for him, but this is a veteran. Like, boom, here's the contract, plug and play, playing well, boom, that should continue. He's still in a lot of ways developing. I don't know if that's the right word, right? But he really hasn't. Even Minnesota was just like a bus stop for him. You know what I mean? It helped reset him, but he hasn't had an extended period of being one place and being in a solid foundation, because it was with the Jets and the Panthers, and then it's like he hasn't had it. So you sort of have to give him a little bit of that, but you also have to say he's into that second part of his career age-wise. Do we have to necessarily look toward, okay, he's here for now as a placeholder, but who is the guy moving forward? Like, this is the decision they're going to wind up having to make. And if he doesn't play well, and we see more of that down the stretch, then that's going to be more of the conversation moving forward. So it's a big 7 weeks into the playoffs here for Sam Darnold as we come down the stretch.
All right, let's move on to some other storylines in the NFL. There's we can get to our weekly everyone hates Jalen Hurts piece that the Athletic apparently put out. So now we're at the point where we've got anonymous teammates talking to reporters about Jalen Hurts. Does this, you're closer to it than we are, than I am out here. Is there like a Russell Wilson vibe to this with him?
No, because I would say with Russ, it was almost like what's the best way to say this?
Was it the personality more?
What's that?
Was it more the personality with Russell, that it's not the personality with Jalen, it's just the play on the field?
Personality. I think it's personality driven.
Okay. All right.
I think that he's, I don't think in that locker room he's got a bunch of dudes that are his, like, that's his crew. He's sort of, I don't want to say on an island, but he does things a certain way. He wants things done a certain way on the field and off the field. I shouldn't say on the field, more off the field, like how they approach his job. And he's a motivational guy, and he's always on. Seems like he's always on. And
this sounds like Russell.
It does, but I'm drawn. Like, the difference is those defensive guys looked at Russell and were kind of like, like remember the story about Russ Sherm picking him off in practice and barking at him the whole way, almost like he wasn't tough, like we're tough, like that kind of stuff. I don't think it's that. I think they respect his toughness. I think they respect his competitiveness. It's just I think some personalities, and it's clearly AJ Brown and he don't, which is weird because Jalen vouched for AJ when they traded for him, and they started off on a great foot. And Jalen's the godfather to AJ's kid. How did we get here?
That's going to make it uncomfortable at the holidays.
The problem is I can't, I'm trying to cover this, and I know I've had these conversations. Nothing that's coming out now is like, whoa, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually surprised with some of the stuff and I still don't think it was completely on the mark that we heard about Carson Wentz years ago, that he was almost this, Carson Wentz had dudes in that locker room that loved him, loved Zach Ertz, and Chris Maragos was a key guy there for a while, special teams wise, and some of the offensive linemen, those were. I don't say the same thing necessarily about Jalen Hurts, but all this is happening, and I'm like, yeah, but you guys just won the Super Bowl, and you're leading your division by a hop, skip, and a jump, and you're going to cruise to that, and you might be the number one seed in the NFC. How is all this a problem?
Egos. It's just egos, right?
Huh?
Just egos. I mean, I just. When you have so much success, all these egos, it's what has made, some of these teams, maybe Kansas City to a degree, I think even the New England years, the ability just to focus on the team and not let egos destroy stuff is, and it appears that's what's happening to Philly. It's what happened to Seattle. It was just egos. Egos destroyed that whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, New England had it. The coach had an ego in New England. I don't think the coach in Philadelphia has an ego. So, there'll be books to be written if the Eagles win 3 more Super Bowls. About how this dynasty was wrought with infighting and quarterbacks that didn't talk to other guys on the team and vice versa. But it's actually impressive to me that I know that all this stuff is going on and yet they're winning games. It's quite impressive.
Hey, is there any scuttlebutt, rumors, talk among NFL circles about Steve Sarkisian and Lincoln Riley? Found it interesting that both have been linked to leaving their places right now in college football. Sarkisian has come out and said, no, I'm not going anywhere. It needs to stop. But there's been then this buzz out of LA with Lincoln Riley that it's over. Now, I would assume that maybe they want to get out of college football and come into the NFL.
Yeah.
Is there talk of both of those guys? The talk is NFL next stop for both of them.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying I was agreeing with a lot of coaches feeling like, I get more stability in the NFL.
Right.
Because they used to think free agency and these guys, I don't want to deal with that. Like Nick Saban. Well, now it's the same thing. Like you've got guys that are getting paid at the college level and you can't run a dictatorship the way that you used to run a dictatorship. And they're leaving and able to go and head elsewhere. It didn't used to be that way. You had these guys sort of under your control for a couple of years. So it's not what it was, and they've had trouble dealing with that. I think, it could happen, and Sark will certainly be, especially if he continues the success, he'll be the subject of NFL teams checking in. I just feel like last year he may have had an opportunity to jump to the Cowboys, to not leave the state, not move very far, go work for the Cowboys and be their head coach. And it didn't happen, and it never really seemed like it. There was probably some conversation there. I'm comfortable saying that, and it just never happened. So if you're not gonna jump for that, but then you'll go coach in, I don't know who's already been fired, Tennessee, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he likes Nashville. No idea. But it just felt like that would have been a great jumping off point last year, and he didn't do it. Now it could be also, let me get through Arch Manning. I don't want to leave that, and I think Arch is going to wind up coming back for another year.
But the openings, for those two or for anyone, what do we think in the openings, right? We've got Tennessee, we've gotten the Giants.
Tennessee, the Giants, potentially Miami. Maybe not. Maybe that's hey, let's go live in South Florida.
Okay. What about Las Vegas? Do you? I think maybe we've talked about this last week. I can't remember. But
I think so. I don't have any hard information. I think so.
You think he'd be one and done?
I think he's one and done. I do. That thing is, and I'll tell you a big reason why. Max Crosby. Because I think Max Crosby thought this team was going to be a lot more competitive than it is right now, which is why he did a contract extension this offseason. And I could tell he's frustrated. I could just see it. And it's almost not going to put words in Max's mouth, but if it's status quo and not a reason to think that this thing's going to turn quickly.
Where did they go? And then now, because then Mark Davis is just given kind of Brady like carte blanche, right?
To a certain extent, yeah. But so Brady and general manager John Spytek have a history and know each other from Tampa, from Michigan. So I wouldn't minimize Spytek's role as the general manager of this team. But I know how, it's looking like Brady. And I did find it interesting the other night that he was not in the coach's booth for that Monday night broadcast.
That'd be something. I mean, not only did Brady deliver Pete Carroll his worst loss in the history of coaching, but then he'd end his coaching career. Jesus, fuck you, Brady. Damn.
You still a Pete guy?
Jesus, huh?
Are you still a Pete guy like that?
I love Pete Carroll. Who doesn't love Pete Carroll? Everybody loves Pete Carroll in this town, but it was time. Right but it was time. It was time for him to go, and they made the right choice. But I mean, yeah, I think
that was also a very, 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 and I understand it's the Cowboys, but a very pro Cowboys crowd the other night. Can't have that, especially with a team like Los Angeles.
Hey, you've got some dip on your lip. Whatever it was.
Saw that? Just
yeah, it was there. I wanted to get it off before someone gets a screenshot.
Looking out. Los Angeles, especially the Chargers, right? Who just moved from San Diego to Los Angeles, and that being a place where the road fans are taking over because Los Angeles is a transit community. Atlanta's sort of that way. A lot of people live in Atlanta that aren't from Atlanta. Vegas is sort of like that from a geographical standpoint, but the Raiders are. I mean, that is a national fan base. You shouldn't have that happen inside your
right. But it's always kind of been the case. I will say this. If the Niners get into the playoffs, because Brock Purdy's back looked good last week, they get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How is Kyle Shanahan not the coach of the year? I mean, it's unbelievable. With all the injuries and everything that's happened. Well, and he's got that team playing good, and now he's got his quarterback back. I mean,
I've got a vote. I got a vote this year where for the first time in the history, I don't know if I told you this, for the first time in the history of NFL Network, it's not the network, it's the AP. The AP didn't used to allow us because we're technically league employees.
Yeah.
And God bless his heart, Rob Motti, who is the AP NFL writer or editor, I guess. I don't know what his exact role is, but he's the main NFL writer. He took over for it was Dave Goldberg into Barry. What's his last name?
This is happening. You're too young to start losing your thought process and memory. This is not good. Sudoku puddle.
Anyway, so Rob takes over, and Rob advocated for us and said, I understand the perception of them being league employees because they don't want the league to dictate the awards.
Sure.
That's been a big thing. And he's like, but they're independent. I know these people. They work for they cover the NFL more than anybody else. They know the NFL. They have connections in the NFL. We need it. So he got 4 or 5 of us votes this year, and I couldn't be happier. So I have a vote.
You're doing it. Kyle Brandt has a vote too, right? I think
Kyle
you talked
Brandt has
about
a vote too. Did we talk about this, or you just knew?
No, I saw him mention it on the show the other day.
He's very proud of it, as he should be. And for Coach of the Year, if I had to make a vote right now, I got a hard.
Just a hell of a job, man. He's just done a great job.
Who? Kyle
Shanahan. He just, I mean, if they get in, that's
got a hard time not giving it to Vrabel though, because
that
he came in, and I hate saying this because it was a successful dynasty, and I still continue the Gerard Mayo was a good, he changed the culture. The culture needed changing from the end of the Belichick era into Mayo, and he did it fantastically. That team is super competitive. I saw there was some pushback to something Cam Newton said with Drake May or whatever. This is not a phony, puffed up record. That team is playing damn good football.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Appreciate it. Good luck with the house remodel. We'll see you on the tube. Tonight? We got Thursday night football. What's your schedule like on the NFL Network?
We'll be on the NFL Fast streaming channel. 6 o'clock, so 3 o'clock your time, and at the same time we'll be live on NFL Network for game day kickoff, so check us out there. We got Insiders tomorrow. I got Good Morning Football next week. I'll be on Thanksgiving morning. Join us for Thanksgiving morning for Good Morning Football. It's my first time I don't think have I covered a thing. No, I've covered a Thanksgiving game for NFL Network, I believe, but this will be my first time covering working in a studio show. So we're working from home, but Good Morning Football Thanksgiving morning. So we'll see you then. What are we going to do, you and I?
Oh, yeah, that's right. This stuff always sneaks up on me. Well, we're going to take it off. We're not going to work. I'm going to do it. It's Thanksgiving.
I'm working Friday too. I'm covering the Eagles Bears Black Friday game. So
we're taking all next week off. I don't know. Well, figure it out. Then when you work for yourself, you can make your own schedule, which is great.
You also type your own tweets up.
I do. I can do everything myself.
You have no staff at all?
No, I got nobody. It's a one-man band over here. Okay? Earning all the money. You're the best. Happy Thanksgiving, you and the family. We'll talk soon.
Hold on. What's KJ-Arent? What's that segment? So
my next guest that's coming up, Mitch Levy, longtime morning show host at KJ-Arent. So he has worked there. We both used to work there. He doesn't work there anymore. A long time ago, he left. And so then we start doing a show together called He Came Over at KJ-Arent's because
pretty good.
It was pretty good. He's very creative. You'd like him very much. He's going to come on next, and he's going to be very upset that you were allowed to eat on the show. And the first thing he's going to bring up is, why does he get to eat on the show? I want to be able to eat on the show. So there you go. Take a big bite. You're the best. We'll see you next in a couple weeks. There he is, Mike Garafolo, NFL Network. Brought to you by Hartley and Hartley Insurance, your trusted family-owned insurance experts in the Puget Sound area. Plus, also Zogs on Fox Island. All right, the live KJ-Arent's coming up here momentarily. First, let's get a word from a couple of our sponsors, Georgetown Brewery and also Flat Stick Pub.
Drink Georgetown Tavern Beer, your new locally brewed domestic-style lager. 4.2% alcohol. Cheap, good, local.
If it's fun you desire, it's fun you're going to get at Flat Stick Pub. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, whether it's date night, guys night, ladies night, or large group event, Flat Stick Pub's got you covered. They have 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest, from Pioneer Square to Kirkland, South Lake Union, Spokane, Bellingham, and Redmond. All locations offer the best pub experience in Washington. 2 rules at Flat Stick Pub: drink local and have fun. Pretty simple. So if you like to have fun, love local beer, and great tasting food, make Flat Stick Pub your next spot. Visit them at flatstickpub.com. Here we go. It's another version. It's another episode of the KJ-Arent's Live. Here he is, Mitch Levy, host of the Mitch Unfiltered podcast. The entire show airs live during the Daily Puck Drop, but once live show concludes, the only way to catch KJ-Arent's is to join Puck's Posse at pucksports.com or become a patron at MitchUnfiltered.com. All right, do you want to get the audio out of the way that I know you're waiting to play from last week's show? Just do it now. Get it out of the way. No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
I want to hear it now.
I've turned over a new leaf.
Play the audio.
I'm not playing the audio.
Yeah, you are.
That doesn't mean that I don't have it.
Play it.
No, I'm not going to play it. Why don't you tell everybody what you said? The 2 things that you said were going to happen this past week.
Well, I almost was correct on the Seahawks one. I thought the Seahawks would win a close game. Did I say a last-second field goal? I can't remember if I did. I just said they would win a close game. Don't remember exactly more than that. Then I said Cal Raleigh would win in a landslide over Aaron Judge.
0-4-2.
It's my life. That sums up my life. 0-2. 0 for everything.
Well, maybe if you didn't let people eat sandwiches on your show,
you can do whatever you want.
You took it a little more seriously.
Hey, you can eat whenever you want. You got taco time. You want red clam chowder. You can eat whatever you want.
I would never do it. I'm a professional. I would never.
Damn show in a car. Fucking earbuds on.
I would never do it, and I would think that this is one of the top 5 weeks of your life. The fact that Josh Naylor signed, first free agent to signed back with Seattle. When you were asking about this before he even ever arrived at the ballpark for the first time, I mean, he wasn't even on the ground in Seattle. And I hadn't taken an at bat yet, and I wanted to sign this guy. I've wanted Josh Naylor forever. So you got it now.
Oh, it's so good.
So now what do you do? Do you retire? Hey, I mean, now what do you do?
Did you happen to watch all of it? Did you see like clips of his press conference?
Clips, not all of it.
Okay, go watch it all. You want to feel good about yourself. You need a pick me up. You're always down in the dumps. Just always down. It's always woe is me and everything's against me in the world.
I'm in a great mood.
Get a pick me up and watch that whole thing.
I watched the clips.
So
all
good.
I need to watch. I would have had a better week if I was invited to be on with Jim Moore, but I wasn't after you told me that I would be.
I forgot about that. But I do have some good news, though, what we talked about last week.
What did we talk? Oh. No, you don't have it.
I don't have it yet. It's been submitted.
You don't have it.
He has a week to deliver it, apparently.
Can you read to us what you wrote for him? You didn't.
Shoot.
You said you were going to include me, and you didn't include me.
I included you. But now, hold on. I don't know.
No, you said you were going to write me. You're going to ask me for my opinion. You're going to include me on that. You never did.
I forgot to. For people who don't know, Russell Wilson's on Cameo, so we've submitted a Cameo video for him to be the open to the show. So yes, I forgot to send it to you exactly what I wrote, but it was something like, oh God, off the top of my head. Hey, hey Seattle, it's good to see my buddies Mitch and Puck again. When I'm in Seattle, the only thing I turn to right away for all my Seattle sports is KJ-Arent. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he'll do it. Paid him a good chunk of money for it, so let's, had to pay.
Hold on a second. You paid?
Well, yeah, but I think it doesn't fully go through until he submits it.
I see.
Now, here's the thing I don't know. My wife brought this up. I don't know. I'm wondering, I don't know if I read the fine print. Can we use it? That's the thing. I don't know if we can use. Well, I don't know. Because we're using it as like a promotion, right? We're using it. Because normally when you do that, it's kind of like you're sending it as a birthday gift or like a hello or whatever. I don't know if you're allowed to rebroadcast it, but we'll find out.
Let me tell you something. Okay? Let's just stop right here.
I can't believe I did. My wife looked at me. She's like, "What did you just spend money on?" I'm like,
No. I'm gonna reimburse you. I told you. Just tell me how much it is, and I'm gonna reimburse you.
No, you're not gonna reimburse it.
But here's what we want. We're gonna use it, and then we want him to come after us.
Take it down. Cease and desist.
We want a freaking lawsuit. I want to go to court.
Yeah.
You and me against Russell Wilson in court. I don't give a shit what the fine print says. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it strong and proud, and we're gonna hope that Russell Wilson and Sierra come after Puck and Mitch because we used it on the show.
I want to hold on. I'm going to Cameo real quick. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's my Cameo Russell Wilson payment. Does it show me what I did? No, it doesn't.
How much did you spend?
Well, I had to pay a little extra because I had to you only get like 250 characters, right? But so it was a little lengthy. I had to extend it.
What do you mean? He's charging by the word now?
Yes. So if you go over 250 words, you got to pay more. So I had to pay like an extra, almost like $100, like $500 for this.
So when Russell Wilson cuts the deal with Cameo, he and his agent go into a room and say 250 words. That's it.
Well, I
don't do 275. If it's 275, we want more money. This whole thing is
so odd. He's made so much money in his career.
How much did you spend?
You're not sending me any money. I don't want it.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I know you don't want it. But what do you
Cameo? I want to see where my email is.
Your wife is objecting to the payment. I heard you say it.
Oh yeah, she was like, "You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot."
Well, you
are. Here is. Oh, I know that. Here is my email I received back on. So what, the 17th? What was that? Monday? Did I do it Monday? Yeah. Great news. Your Cameo request has been successfully delivered to Russell Wilson. They are excited to create your personalized video. You'll receive a notification once your video is ready. In the meantime, you can track the status of your request and see any updates. So there we go. He's got 7 days to complete it.
Any chance he'll do it from the sideline during a game or he's not playing any chance?
The only regret I have, and I wish I still had the script that I wrote that I didn't say, I was going to do it unlimited. I was going to throw in something cheesy, but I didn't do that. I'm hoping he does that on his own. This is not going to stop. I'm going to get a bunch of other people now.
You didn't toss in a Go Hawks, did you?
I thought about it. I thought about doing it in Go Hawks.
This is fabulous.
But he's going to do it. He has
fabulous.
to. Oh, it's going to be so good.
This is so good.
We're going to find other people. You know what? I'm going to search.
He's not going to do it. My prediction is he's not going to do it.
I agree. He's not going to do it.
He's not going to do it. He's going to see it. I don't know whether you had a relationship with him. I had a pretty good relationship. I did. I had a pretty good relationship with Russell Wilson. He did our show a lot. You know, they'd bring him over to the table. He was always very kind and friendly. He should remember my name. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But I just don't think he's going to do this. I don't think he's going to do this.
Do you think? Hold on. I want to search. Is there a chance? Dan? Oh, he is. I'm going to. When's your birthday? When's it?
No.
When is it?
No birthday gifts.
Dan Marino's on there.
What?
Yeah, Dan Marino.
Shut up.
Is on Cameo.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Why is Dan on Cameo? It makes me.
Why are any of these guys on it?
It makes me sad.
Yeah, he's on it.
I don't even like the commercials. I think it's for potato chips or something where Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith and somebody else put on their uniforms. Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
It makes me a little uncomfortable.
Who else do you like? What besides Dan Marino? Give me your.
You can't say besides
favorite
Dan Marino. You can't say because as soon as you say Dan Marino, it doesn't. There's nobody else I'm interested in.
Jim Boeheim. Let's see if he's on.
No, turned 81 the other day, Monday.
Jim Boeheim is on Cameo.
These guys, what are they doing?
And he does lengthy ones. He does. His price is only $200. You can get a pep talk. I think you need a pep talk.
Oh,
I think Mitch Levy needs a pep talk from Jim Boeheim. Now we can get in now for only $200. He only has a $200. That price point available for only 9 more videos. Then it goes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He did one today. He did one this morning at 7:46 a.m.
How do you know all this?
Because I'm looking at it right now. You just type in their name and it gives their whole bio of how many videos they've done.
This is stalker type of stuff.
You want to read a recent review? He has a 4.9, 117 reviews for Jim Boeheim. Fans are absolutely loving this legendary basketball coach's cameo experiences. With lightning fast turnaround times and deeply personalized messages, they're raving about the heartfelt, engaging videos that capture the essence of Syracuse basketball spirit. Whether it's birthday wishes, wedding surprises, or motivational talks, this talent consistently delivers authentic, memorable moments that leave fans feeling connected and inspired. Jimmy B. Oh, somebody brought up a good point in the chat.
What chat?
YouTube. When I'm on YouTube, there's a chat. You've been on there before, and I'll post it. Hapnin says Jennifer Aniston. God,
can we go to another topic?
I know it's boring.
This is all like let's bring up all of people in Mitch's past that Mitch has talked about over the years.
I just want to see if Jennifer Aniston was available.
Nobody wants to hear this. They want to hear about Sam Darnold and Josh Naylor and.
I told you about Josh Naylor. Go watch the video, please. Watch all of it. Hey, people are nervous about Sammy D.
Oh boy!
I've said this a couple of times already. I think the next game against the Rams, people are going to watch the game with their hand over their face a little bit, looking between their fingers because they're scared of what Sam Darnold's going to do. They are, and I get it. I understand it. You're nervous about his next game.
What a difference a week makes.
Oh, it's
today. We were discussing how uncomfortable I am with all the accolades and the power polls and seeing the Seahawks #1 and #2 and a Super Bowl front runner and all the different things. 7 days later, Puck, everybody is jumping from high distances over Sam Darnold's inability to beat a good team and a good defense.
And everybody kind of is dancing around it a little bit. Have you noticed that? Oh, they were so close. I feel better, actually, about how they played coming out of that game. I feel better about the Seahawks. You hear a lot. I actually weirdly feel really good about the game. He threw 4 picks. They almost won the game. I mean, geez, I don't feel all that bad. I'm thinking that was the worst case scenario. You could have lost the game. Had they gotten beat by Matt Stafford, I think you could live with that. You can't live with the guy that you have question marks about, and he goes out there and cost you the game. He single-handedly cost you the game.
But Puck, even with all that, they had a 61-yard field goal to win the game.
Oh, I know.
At the end, Puck.
I know.
What does that really say for the Seattle Seahawks? If they're able to still beat the Rams on the road at the end, having played the game or getting the performance from the quarterback that they did, what does that really say for the Seahawks?
Well, it tells you that team, like if you had any question marks, at least I probably still had a little question mark about how good the defense was. I thought that was answered for me on Sunday. I think I had a little bit like, how good are they? Like, are they really, really good, or are they potentially great? Well, I mean, I think what they did against him and Stafford, Stafford looked confused at times. He didn't know where to go to the ball. So I think that answered, at least for me, that is a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Everybody's saying that. Everybody is saying that was a Super Bowl caliber defense against the Rams. And I don't know that I agree, but
really, you're not convinced yet.
Well, I mean, they ran the ball at the Seahawks pretty well
in the first quarter.
I think they had 91 yards. I think the running back had 91 yards on about 5 or 6 yards of carry. They didn't tackle particularly well. I don't think they ever sacked Matthew Stafford. I don't even think they ever even got a hand on Matthew Stafford for all intents and purposes. No. I thought, look, certainly the Seahawks defense played well enough for the team to win. I mean, there's no question about that. Whether I feel like they're the best defense in the NFL, one of the top 2 defenses in the NFL, I think I still need to see it a little bit more, but they're very, very good. There's no question about it. I think if you want to keep your sanity this week, you probably say the following. How good, after watching that game on Sunday, do we need Sam Darnold to be in games like that to win? I mean, if Sam Darnold is 17 of 27 for 210 yards and 1 interception and 1 touchdown, just average, even below average day, is that good enough? And if the answer is that that's good enough, if he doesn't throw 4 interceptions, they win the game. Well, then it really is on Mike Macdonald and Clint Kubiak moving forward to say, hey, we don't need 300 yards and 4 touchdowns from our quarterback to win certain games. We got to put together a plan, a game plan, where we win it in different ways. We can win this game with the quarterback managing the game, not making too many mistakes, and we'll win it with our defense. If the defense is as good as you say that the defense is.
But he still needs to make a handful of throws in games, right? He can't underthrow Shaheed. He can't underthrow Shaheed on a surefire touchdown. Like he
made some plays. He made some plays. He brought him from the 1 yard line down position to I mean, there were enough plays made during that particular drive. I mean, there's another thing. If the all-world punt goes out of the end zone, I mean, the damn thing looked like one of your wedges. I mean, it was just
greatest punt I've ever seen.
It's the greatest punt maybe in history. Yeah. If that ball goes into the end zone and they start at the 20, we may be talking about a Seahawks win.
Yeah. I did like how he responded. I would say this, that he in people will say this about him, goes back to USC. mean, he has that kind of gunslinger mentality where he just keeps going and going, and it can hurt. That hurts him at times because he just keeps throwing it, and it will lead to 4 picks. But I guess in the weird way, it can help him out. And I thought it helped him out on that last drive. He looked confident. He kept throwing it. He didn't seem on that drive. Where he looked scared and timid early on. On that last drive, he did not.
I'm not a former quarterback. I'm not going to play the role of a former quarterback. I'm not at practice every day. I don't see. But I have a gut feeling about what is ultimately the problem, if there is a problem with Sam Darnold. And it's just not reinventing the wheel. You probably heard this before. But after rewatching the game and seeing a couple of the angles, you know how they had on Fox a couple of the angles of the interceptions where they had the camera behind him and you could see up the field, you could see what he was seeing. There were a few of those replays. It's my opinion that he doesn't innately trust anybody on that team not named Jackson Smith and Jigba in terms of the receivers. Now, you could understand why with Shaheed because he's only 2 weeks there. But even Cooper Kupp, now somebody might say, Mitch, Cooper Kupp doesn't practice. He's not what he used to be. He hasn't had the reps with Sam Darnold. He's missed a couple of games. Maybe you would explain why. But there were a couple of plays I could send you if I really have the time. I could send you of those replays from behind Sam Darnold when he threw the interception. There were a couple of plays where Cooper Kupp was going to be open. It involved Sam Darnold being willing to throw the ball, get rid of the ball before he was open, with the trust that when the ball arrived, Cooper Kupp was going to be there to make the catch. There were a couple of patterns that he ran that I saw that if this were 2 years ago and it was the Rams, Matthew Stafford would have let that ball go before he was open, and Cooper Kupp would have broken or done a dig route and turned around, and it would have been there, okay? There was another play with Rashid Shaheed coming around a zone defense. He was coming around at the time that he was about to throw at Sam Darnold. Shaheed wasn't open, but it was pretty clear from the replay. He was going to be wide open. But I don't think Darnold, as I said, innately trusts, is willing to throw the ball when guys aren't open unless it's Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's my feeling. And that's why you saw a lot of, I heard you say earlier in the week, he looked jittery in there. He looked like he was waiting for things to break down. He wasn't throwing to the first read. He just wasn't sure. I think it's because of what I just said. I just don't think he truly trusts the other receivers on the team. And if you say to me, what about A.J. Barner? What about the tight end? He's throwing to the tight end when the tight end is wide open. He's throwing, he had 10 or 11 catches, but it's not like he's throwing anticipation passes to the tight end. The tight end happens to be coming across the middle, or he's the third or fourth receiver in a progression, and he looks around, he throws it's a different thing with the tight end. Right. I think he needs to develop that chemistry, that trust in Cooper Kupp or Torrey Horton or Rashid Shaheed that he's got with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What's going on with Horton?
CJ Procise. Can't stay healthy. Thin frame, small frame, but he couldn't stay healthy in college, can't stay on the field, getting hurt in practices, getting hurt on simple plays. He just may be one of those guys that can't get through the rigors unless he's going to redevelop his body. I would think that Shaheed's acquisition, we're finding out more and more about the trade acquisition of Shaheed every week that goes by, that Torrey Horton's not able to get on the field.
I know it was a deep pass, somewhat deep pass that he missed in the end zone. But have they ran like an actual deep post to Shaheed yet? Or, it seems like they've lined him up in the backfield more than they've actually sent him deep.
Yeah.
Right?
They've done very little with him.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think it feels like they're really it feels a little Percy Harvin to me, trying to get him involved, trying to get him to touch the ball in all these weird different ways, lining him up in the backfield, doing different stuff, rather than what he's supposed to do is go deep and beat people. And it doesn't feel like they've thrown that one time yet.
Not yet. Maybe we see it this week against Tennessee. I don't know.
Okay.
But, it's just we all love Jackson Smith and Jigba. We all love him.
Yeah.
We love him. We can't believe the year he's having. He's by far and away been the best wide receiver in the NFL. But that's come at a price. I think it's clear now. There's just too much relying on one player, just too much. He's got to spread the ball around, and he's got to trust the other guys. It just can't be all one guy. That's my opinion.
You said moments ago you have too much stuff going on that you can't send me the clips. Your day is so busy.
Oh, no.
Here on this Thursday.
I don't remember saying that I have so much stuff going on.
You just said you're too busy. Are you preparing Mitch Unfiltered podcast for have you nominated Mitch Unfiltered podcast yet for the iHeart Podcast Awards? Are you going to do it?
Can you? No, I want
you
you to
please
win.
do it.
I want you to win.
I've already submitted.
What's the better chance that we get a Russell Wilson cameo or that you win an iHearty, whatever they call it, an iHeart?
Well, as my wife, the CEO, pointed out to me, she goes, "You do realize the category you had entered, because there's just there's like business and life and just sport, and then there's just one that just says sports."
Right.
All right. She goes, "You entered with like the Kelsey brothers." She's like, how do you think that's going to end up? We got a shot. I'm going to forward you the email. Put in Mitch Unfiltered. See if you can get See, I don't want to win. I want to just get nominated. I want to just go to Texas. God, that was funny. I had a good hearty laugh. I'd like to know how that must just be like they send it out to everyone that has on that platform. Like you just get an email because it wasn't like personalized or anything. Like, hey, would you mind just submitting your podcast? Sure, I'll submit it.
That'd
be so funny.
All of these shenanigans with Russell Wilson and now with the iHeart Podcast Award kind of remind me of something I did years ago with now the departed, may he rest in peace, John Feinstein. Do you remember that there was a problem between John Feinstein and me?
Well, yes, I remember. Was he on with you?
Yeah.
He used to do, okay. And then something happened.
Yes.
And then he started doing something with gas, right?
Well, he knew Gas for years. I don't want to speak to him and Gas. I just know that he and I were friendly in D.C. when I worked in D.C. We got friendly through Tony Kornheiser, the Tony Kornheiser Show, who was kind of always John Feinstein's mentor. And we were friendly. And when I came to Seattle, he was like, yeah, let's do something. And so we did something. And it was great. It was great radio. He was great. He was great radio. And he never liked Rick Riley. He always hated Rick Riley because
competitors.
Yeah. Authors, sports authors, competitors.
Yeah.
And Rick Riley used to say things about him, and it used to piss John Feinstein off, and he hated Rick Riley. And so Rick Riley went on some HBO special, and then John Feinstein went on a special, and Riley said on my show, why does Feinstein always look so constipated? So the next time that Feinstein was on his regular show with me, my friend, I said, I want to play you something. Sandmeyer was sitting right there. You got to ask Sandmeyer. He was right in the middle of it. He loved it. And he said, what are you going to play? I said, I want you to hear Rick Riley on my show. And I played, why does Feinstein look so constipated all the time? And when I went back to Feinstein, there was a dial tone. Now, can I swear on your show?
Of course.
We go to the break. Sandmeyer and I look at each other like, oh my God, what just happened? You just pissed off Feinstein. We go to the break. And by the time I get to the break, which is 3 minutes later, Puck, there's a voicemail on my cell phone from John Feinstein. And it says to me, and I think I have it almost verbatim. I wish I would have saved it. The message says, Mitch, Feinstein, here's what I want you to do. 2 things. Have the station send me the money it owes me for doing your show, and go fuck yourself. And he says, not necessarily in that order. And don't ever talk to me again. That's the last time he ever talked to me. Told me to go fuck myself. Last time he ever talked to me. I think he may have said something else like, friends don't do what you just did, and shame on you. Go fuck yourself and have the station send me the money that it owes me. Okay. So then he never talks to me. Literally, for the rest of his life, never talks to me again. And this goes, he lives another 15 years, 20 years, never talks to me again. In so doing, there were little incidents like somebody came up to him at the U.S. Open. They said, hey, are you John Feinstein? You're friends with Mitch Levy. I know Mitch. And Feinstein said, used to be a friend, and walked away.
Oh, I love it.
And little things happen. So what I'm about to tell, I'm just setting up what you just reminded me of, what you're doing on the iHeart Award. So Feinstein, as you know, every 2 or 3 years would have a big book come out.
Yeah.
And I would get these emails from his publicist. Now, his publicist didn't realize that there was a problem between John and Mitch, that John told Mitch to go fuck himself and that he never was talking to him again. All the publicist was trying to do was get John on shows to publicize the. Of
course, yeah.
So I would routinely book him through the publicist.
It's for him to say, no, not doing it, not going on. Why? Oh, that's good.
So every time he had a new book, I would book him through the publicist just to see what would happen.
Well,
and inevitably the publicist would write me this note. I'm so sorry. I didn't know he's not going to be available, or John's all full, or, all of these different things. And it got back to me like through Tony or somebody else that he was saying, that fucking Mitch Levy, he keeps booking me on his show. Why does he keep booking me on his show? Oh, it was hysterical. It's kind of like the iHeart Radio thing. Sorry.
Well, you never know. The nominations come out in January. Fingers crossed. I think people can vote. It's confusing, but I think the public can vote. And if the public can vote, I think I've got a shot.
No, you've got no shot, because if the public can vote with the millions of people that listen to Kelsey, you got no chance.
And just to be nominated. We just need to get in we just got to be nominated.
It's an honor to be nominated in
this
category with all
I just want to pay my own way to Austin, Texas to watch the Kelsey brothers accept the award.
Pay me the money you owe me and go fuck yourself, not necessarily in that order. John Jr. Feinstein, ladies and gentlemen. May he rest in peace. A supreme talent, a very sensy poo fella, couldn't take a joke, but boy, could he give it out. Could he deliver the punishment? But boy, oh boy, that day. Ask Sam Meyer about that day. Sam Meyer will go to his grave remembering that day. Yeah.
What do we got this week? We got Mitch Unfiltered. What are all the bonus shows we got this week?
We got them all.
Everything. Walking Four is out, right?
Ray Roberts went to Mexico and didn't tell me. So I've been promoting the Ray Roberts thing, and I texted him yesterday. Hey, Ray, can we do the show tonight? He's like, oh, fam, forgot to tell you. I'm in Mexico. Sorry, fam.
Yeah,
he calls me fam. Yeah, and I said, so when you back, fam? And he wrote back, fam, I'm not back until Saturday night. Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
And there's no Ray Roberts show this week because Big Ray is in Mexico. But all the other stuff, Seahawks, No Table, Lock and Four is already out. Danny O'Neill's already out. Slick will be out tomorrow. Yeah, the whole crew. How'd you do on your picks last week? Did you do okay on the Beat the Boys or no? Please tell me.
I can't remember.
Don't tell me you forgot to put them in.
No, I put them in. I just can't remember what I picked.
Okay.
I'm just blanking on it. I got to do it today. I got the password.
Well, we have it this. Oh, we're not going to do one next week because it's Thanksgiving. Maybe that's a perfect time to have me on with Jim Moore. But
yeah. Let's. I'm gonna write it down now.
I think when you get the Russell Wilson clip, you got to have me on and Jim Moore. We got to all talk about this.
Oh yeah, we got to get it. He's got 4 more days to get it in. All right, Mitch. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week. We'll figure out a day.
Sometime. Thank you.
All right. See you. There he is, Mitch Levy, another edition of KJ-Arent, of course, of Mitch Unfiltered. Our weekly show airs in its entirety during the live daily puck drop. But once the live show is over, you must sign up to become a Puck's Posse member to listen to the full show at pucksports.com. If you are already a patron at Mitch Unfiltered, MitchUnfiltered.com, then you can get access to it. But we'd air the KJ-Arents during the live daily puck drop in its entirety during the live show. But again, once we go dark, the only place to watch and listen to it, again, is if you sign up to become a Puck's Posse member. All right. We got Hey, What the Puck coming up. But before that, on this day, we got to get you covered on a couple. There's some good stuff today. Some good stuff on November 20th, by the way. Some real good stuff involving college football that I kind of stumbled on today. We're going to get to that. But on this day, November 20th, a couple important dates here on November 20th, by the way, in the NFL. 1977, we're going to first start in Seattle, Washington. Steve Largent, that's right, Steve Largent, greatest wide receiver in the history of the NFL, begins his NFL streak of 177 consecutive games with a catch on November 20th, 1977. Of course, he went on to play all 14 years in Seattle with the Seahawks. He amassed over 13,000 yards receiving, 100 touchdowns receiving, which was the record until Jerry Rice eclipsed it. Largent went over 1,000 yards 7 times in his 14-year NFL career. He was named the NFL Man of the Year in 1988. In 1985 was a first-team All-Pro, second-team All-Pro 4 times in his career, selected to the Pro Bowl 7 times, named to the 1980s All-Decade Team, and the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team, inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1995. But on this date, 1977, started his NFL record streak of 177 consecutive games with a catch. Also on November 20th, also in 1977, Walter Payton, sweetness, greatest running back I've ever seen, with my eyes. Rushed for an NFL record 275 yards against the Minnesota Vikings. Did it on 40 carries in a 10-7 win at Soldier Field. He did it. It was called now it's called the original flu game. You always hear about Jordan and the flu game. This was the original flu game. He woke up with the flu that morning. He played the game with 102 temperature during that game at Soldier Field and carried them to a victory. 40 carries, 275 yards, all 13 years in Chicago. Second all-time leading rusher in NFL history behind Emmitt Smith. NFL MVP in 77. Man of the Year also in 77. 9-time Pro Bowler. 5-time All-Pro. NFL's 100th anniversary team. Lost his life, obviously, to it was a kidney or liver disease. God, he was great. Sweetness. Beautiful. Not many backs possessed his elusiveness and then power. And there's a great debate. Barry Sanders is up there. Jim Brown. But this guy was, I don't know. He was so fun to watch. 2 great games involving college football on November 20th. And they both were in 1982, and both involving rivalry games. First, probably you could make an argument this is the greatest play in the history of college football, and it's simply titled The Play. Stanford and Cal, and Joe Starkey on the call.
Harmon will probably try to squib it, and he does. Ball comes loose, and the Bears have to get out of bounds. Rodgers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rodgers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. The most amazing, sensational, dramatic, heartrending, exciting exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football.
Just a great, great play, obviously, in the rivalry between Stanford and Cal on November 20th, 1982. What makes it so improbable and crazy, I mean, just everything, right? The band on the field, the trombone player getting hit, is Joe Starkey's call. It's like, honestly, one of the best calls in the history of sports. Was so much that was going on, and they play it all the time. And if you were a member, I mean, you just imagine being a Stanford Cardinal fan and losing that way. And if you're a Cal fan, winning that way. It's what makes college football so great and what makes the rivalry so great. And it's unfortunate is why everything has been destroyed now in college football. But that happened November 20th, 1982. That very same day, November 20th, 1982. After being away for 28 years, the Apple Cup between UW and Wazoo, it had not been played in Pullman in 28 years. Huskies refused to play it in Pullman. They wanted to go to Spokane, so they played the game in Spokane. Jim Walden, though, led the effort to return the game back to campus in Pullman, where obviously it has been since then, because he wanted the fans and wanted to bring it back on campus. Got his wish. Don James pushed back, tried to get it to remain up in Spokane when they played over there, but they ended up playing in Pullman. The Cougars that day in Pullman were 24.5-point underdogs in that game. The year before, Washington had ruined in 1981 in Seattle, the Husky Stadium, had ruined the chances of Wazoo to play in the Rose Bowl. UW had entered the game, top 10 in the country. They had a 9-1 record. They had a date set to play Michigan in the Rose Bowl. So much that everyone thought Washington would win. Everyone. Seattle Times that day ended up sending a reporter to go cover the Ohio State-Michigan game just to get, an early story on Michigan because they were going to play Washington there in the Rose Bowl. Huskies jumped out to a 17-7 lead at halftime. The game was flipped in the second half. CougFan.com's got a great story on this today. Keith Millard ends up recovering a Paul Scansey fumble. And then the game really turned when Chuck Nelson, the All-American kicker at Washington, who had not missed a kick all season long. In fact, he had made 30 straight field goal attempts, lines up for a 33-yard field goal with around 4 minutes left in the game. Washington is trailing 21-20. It's going to give them the lead. They've been outplayed, but they're going to sneak away with the victory and a date with Michigan in the Rose Bowl. But he misses the field goal. The Cougars add a field goal late to win the 1982 Apple Cup 24-20. Old Cougar alumni that will tell you that are old enough to remember that will say that is the greatest game. That you'll cite 97, you'll cite 92, the Snow Bowl from a Cougars perspective. But it was the 1982 game. And once the game ended, the fans rushed the field there at Martin Stadium and took down the goalpost and ended up throwing the goalpost in the Palouse River.
Television, an 8-game winning streak, Washington over Washington State broken. Don James of Washington had never, ever lost to Washington State. And he loses today. He had the personal winning record. And why don't the goalposts come down? Washington may go to the Rose Bowl, but Washington State has made it almost improbable that they do go to the Rose Bowl. And Washington State is going nowhere except back home for the holidays with that warm winter ahead.
A couple of things. So that all that happened on this day, November 20th. Which brings us to Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. Couple of things. You can go back. It's on YouTube, that entire game, by the way. The Cougs and Huskies from 1982. First observation is this. anytime they play and it's on the road, I want those uniforms. I want Washington to bring back those uniforms, and I want Washington State to bring back those uniforms when it's played in Pullman. I think whatever they can play whatever, then they can wear whatever they want when it's in Husky Stadium in Seattle. But when it's in Pullman, can we bring that back? How good did those look? Both of them. I'm a big uniform guy, both of them. Second thing would be, I don't know what the right word, sad. Yeah, sad. A little sad when I watch both those videos today to see that play with both these games happening in 1982, to see that play involving Stanford and Cal, which was the last game of the year, to see that ending, fans rushing the field, tearing down the goalposts. And by the way, the Palouse River, if no one's ever been over there, is not close to the stadium. I mean, it's a hell of a little walk. They drag it down, throw it in the Palouse River. Makes me sad. You know, those were the last games of the regular season. And that's what makes college football great. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, and I think everyone agrees, is regional rivalries, regional conferences. And that's all gone now. It's all been blown up. And it's been obliterated by the greed of television networks, the greed of school presidents, and just the greed of everyone. And I hope one day, since I'm 49 years old, soon to be 50, I hope one day it all comes back. I think it's the best for the sport. I mean, the sport's not hurting for eyeballs. Television numbers are through the roof. People will take it in because people love football and people love college football. But it feels incomplete. And I know I'm not alone in saying that. And to watch games happen this weekend, which would be traditionally the last games of the year, I guess next weekend will be the last games of the year, the rivalry games, and to not see those take place anymore, that stinks. It stinks that you've got Washington playing somebody else and you've got Washington State not playing their true rival, or Oregon and Oregon State, and just all of it, Cal and Stanford. It's just something not right about the sport. And that was the weird thing about all these changes that everyone made to the sport. There was nothing wrong with it. There was nothing. There was nothing wrong when you had all the traditional SEC schools in the SEC, or the traditional schools in the Big Ten and the Pac-10 and Pac-12. And, you know, back in the day, the Southwestern Conference. Sport was always healthy. It was always good. It was always going to become, because of our love for football, it was always going to become the second most popular sport with television as it just kept growing and growing. It would have remained that to this day had they all stayed. It's better for the sport to have it that way. That is one of my hopes as a sports fan, that one day it all comes back and we just kind of we hit the reset button and realize that what makes all of us so passionate about that sport is the regionality. All right, that's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle, your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, mold damage with their property restoration services. Again, locally owned and operated. Give them a call, 206-817-8917. Visit them at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. All right, thank you for everyone watching and listening to today's show. Thank you to all our sponsors. Couldn't do without the support of Limback Lumber, Flat Stick Pub, Georgetown Brewery, and Restoration One. Big thanks to all of those. Their support allows me and others to come on here daily and, I don't know, try to entertain you. I mean, let me stress the word try, too. A big thanks to all of them. Also, you can find today's Daily Puck Drop up on YouTube if you like to watch our ugly faces. When you're there, please subscribe to the channel, like the channel, pass it along, leave a comment, try to get to as many as we possibly can. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on all of your audio podcast platforms. Apple and Spotify are the two best, but it's everywhere, including iHeartRadio. The Daily Puck Drop. We have submitted our show for the iHeart Podcast Awards. Fingers crossed we get it. So you can get it all there. Also, you can find everything up at pucksports.com, including joining to be a Puck's Posse member. Just by signing up, you're eligible. We'll hand out another gift card coming up in December. In fact, I got to reach out to William Snyder. He's not gotten back to me. We handed out the gift card for November. But by just signing up, you're eligible to win a $100 gift card, a prize pack here from Puck Sports. So sign up at pucksports.com. It supports everything we do daily. And in addition to that, you get bonus episodes throughout the week, including the Inside Pitch with Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times talking Mariners baseball in the offseason. A new episode is out this week. Also, once the live daily puck drop is over, you get full access to KJ-Arent's with the one and only Mitch Levy. So that's everything you get. Sign up today. Join today at pucksports.com. All right, that's it for Thursday's show. Coming up tomorrow on Friday's show, we've got the go-to guy is back, Chris Egan. We call it the PME show. That is back for your entertainment pleasure. We'll get our handicapper, Troy Wins, on to give you all of his expert advice coming up on all the games this weekend in college and the NFL. We've got Todd Millis, playoffs. Now we're in the round of, what are we in the round of? 16, right? Or is it 8 now? God, I can't even remember. Well, the playoffs are winding down. I think it's 8. And Todd Millis, Varsity One News, will join us. And, of course, the last word with Bob Condotta on your Seattle Seahawks. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday's edition of the Daily Puck Drop. Until then, as always, we promise to be better.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah. I was born to love. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!